The whole intrigue of the 2024 Tennessee Titans team, besides their free agent splurge last offseason, is that Will Levis showed some glimpses, but wasn't the full-time starter. Could he build on it if he actually was the starter day one, the whole offseason, and throughout the whole regular season? Sure. Unfortunately, that really didn't happen. Normally, I go into these rebuilds talking about, what the team did good, what the team did bad, and honestly, this Titans team just did so much bad. There's really not much positives to say. I'm going to just talk about what they need rather than what they did well. I mean, you need more offensive linemen for sure. Tight end Okonkwo, it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I don't care. As much as it's fun in Madden, it's not going to happen. You could definitely use a better tight end. Although I will say, tight end, it's not always for everyone, right? You don't always have to have an elite guy there. Wide receivers, absolutely lacking talent there without a doubt. Running backs, you got some good running backs there. You're probably fine at that position, especially with a limited amount of resources in terms of, you have so many positions to fill outside of that. You need a QB. We talked about all the offensive linemen. You need defenders, a little more in the interior of the line. Of course, cornerbacks. Snead, he wasn't really that good before he got injured, but you're hoping that, hey, you have one of the better cornerback duos in the league once he does return. Safeties, definitely need a free safety. Edge, one of the worst pass rush win rates in the league. Off-ball linebacker, you can use some improvements there. I mean, once again, top to bottom, this team needs a crazy overhaul, and I think it definitely reflects based on the fact that they were the number one overall draft pick, worst team in the league. Big question with that is, though, with a weaker quarterback class, do you pull the trigger on a QB at 1 when you need so much other talent, or do you take a solid wide receiver? Of course, I know Shedeur Sanders, there's been some rumblings that he could be top 5. Cam Ward's obviously climbed up really high, but for a team that just needs so much, do you actually take QB at 1 when you've got guys that probably, not even in the top 3 if they were drafted last year? I don't know, but it's a quarterback league. We all know if you think you got your guy, you got to take that chance. And I'm not really sure personally, taking over this team for this rebuild, what I'm actually going to do. Before we head to the offseason, though, we have some negotiations. We have Baker, we have Boyd, we have 2 Bakers. Okay, we can have some cookies, but we can't have any wins. Gibbons, Quandre Diggs. I don't like a lot of these names, I'll be honest. Yeah, it's not looking great here. Oh, superstar, who's that? Stone. I knew it couldn't be anyone important. This team doesn't have superstars outside of special teamers. That's not true, but funny joke. Stonehouse is only a 76 overall now, but he's a superstar. I'm going to be working within the realm of Madden here on this one. Once the rebuild kind of starts, all sort of like real life ties and whatnot, they kind of go out the window a little bit. I mean, just a little bit. But gonna have to look into this one a little bit more. I want to make sure that we're not losing anyone that absolutely shouldn't be let go. But yeah, there's me just contradicting everything I said. Lovely. Gibbons seems to be a good player. The problem with him, just like we all also know in Madden, is he's not that athletic. So obviously he's a guy that's going to grade out well because mistakes aren't going to be really judged based on his decision making because he's a smart player, but because he's not that athletic, his ceiling's kind of limited. So as far as a Madden standpoint goes there, yes, he's not bad, and yes, we have so many needs. I kind of might have just talked myself into re-signing him. It's like, yeah, he's not that bad. Yeah, we have a lot of other needs. I don't want to really replace this guy too. Okay, re-sign him then. Simply put, oh, come on, Jack. I'm close to renaming him Meoff. That last name is going to be changed if he doesn't re-sign this contract. As far as everyone else goes, though, Baker, meh. Boyd, super meh, 29. And everyone else is just not really contributor long-term. Also, another just the mistakes. Oof. I get it on paper, the trade value, the fact that you don't have to pay a guy, but that is one of the more modern mistakes, one of the worst ones. Also, let me know what kind of draft classes you guys have been using. Some of you guys are like, oh, it's a cool draft. Some of you guys are like, oh, this draft sucks. I've just been going with the one that I feel like is one of the more consistent, better ones, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. Damn, I thought it wasn't looking good for Levis in real life. Woo, even worse for the sim finale. The numbers they're not going to really reflect anything too great other than blocking based on the sacks allowed. Pressures obviously doesn't really exist in this. Landry 8.5. Amani Hooker with 4 picks. Folk missing 1 out of 23. Pretty clutch. Stonehouse at 50+. And the returns, you never see anything anymore. No touchdowns or anything like that. I know they're not the most common thing in the real world with all the moves and all that, the changes, the rules. Oh man, what happened to the game we love? Lamar Jackson wins MVP. I haven't really paid attention closely to the updated kind of numbers. It's pretty close between him and Allen. I do think, unless something recently changed that I really haven't paid attention to, that is still kind of the case, right? I'm pretty sure that's kind of the consensus, if you will. Almost said census, which I believe is when they take a head count of the people, of how many people are living where. That would have been a little different. As we're going to head to the offseason, pick one in hand. What are we going to do with pick one, though? I mean, I know what I should do in Madden. There's no question about that. I could trade down to 20, still land a QB, have a billion draft picks, but do I think that's what the Titans are going to do? Is that the move? I don't know, though. That's the problem. We have the Bills and the Buccaneers. That is not the Super Bowl I would have expected. I don't think many people would expect. I suppose maybe the Bills you would see, but Bills and Buccaneers are not the teams that I would have expected at this point. But hey, that is not what I have to worry about. It's not have anything to do with me. Cut day? What do you mean? It's the postseason, dude. It's the off-season about to be. What are you yapping about? Let's actually take a look at our DevUps. We should once again see some of those guys that were injured return to the lineup. Get a little bit of a better idea of who we actually do have to replace. No DevUps on offense. Not really shocked there. Defensively, I don't think any here either, unfortunately. So, I mean, just not much going on for the team's progression. Once again, expected. So it's not really doing anything for me. Any retirements? I don't really know. I mean, this whole front office, really, at this point. Morgan Cox, okay. Let's go into the re-sign period, the offseason, where things can actually start to get down a little bit. I'm still, once again, though, really debating on what the hell do we do at pick one. Once again, what do we do? I know the trade down smart. I didn't even finish the freaking transaction on Gibbons. He takes it. He's like, wait a minute. My market sucks. My market value is terrible. But what do we do in this situation in-game, I don't know. I really don't. I really think we could trade down to 3, still land a QB. I think the question would be, would the Giants trade up to 1 to guarantee the QB they want? When there is a chance that, if nobody gives us a trade we want, we do just take QB. It's like, okay, nobody's given a trade down value we want, and pick 1 is too valuable for anything but QB for our liking. So we go QB, or do the Giants give us something good enough, maybe at a lesser value than you would normally see at pick 1 overall from 3, to guarantee the QB spot instead of seeing potentially 2 QBs go in front of them and, they only had 2 QBs on their board that high, perhaps. The idea also is, do the Browns even go QB? Obviously with Deshaun Watson, didn't really play well, but you have so much invested in him draft pick and financially wise. I mean, are you almost forced to keep him as the starter at least for another year? I mean, maybe, perhaps. I'm not really sure if you can really make that decision as far as what's best for the team, but to save face, maybe, perhaps you're like, okay, let's go somewhere else, get some more talent. That wide receiver room ain't great. Perhaps. So I don't know. Do the Giants even see the Browns as a threat for QB? I don't know, but I think we've done enough for the re-signings. I don't really like any of those other players. I know there's some depth in there, but at the end of the day, our starters, our backups, they're worse than most teams' backups, so it doesn't really matter to re-sign backup players for a team whose starters are worse than backups at times. But yeah, looking across the board here, we have DeMarcus Lawrence. Is that a guy maybe you want to go for? Maybe Mac, he's probably looking for a team that's actually going to win him a ring, but at the same time, if this is the most money that he's getting offered across the league, it could be worthy. Although you could see the Lions, Cardinals, and Broncos, at least 2 of those teams, even the Cardinals at this rate, definitely more promising than the Titans, but 2 of those teams definitely really promising, so I highly doubt he would join us over them, but you can't win the lottery if you don't at least throw your name in the hat or blow all your life savings on tickets. That's all I'm saying. As far as other names, I mean, we need pretty much every position, so even if they're not the best player, if they at least have a little bit of potential, like Drew Dolman's okay. He's an okay player. Why not, right? Just sign him if we can. I don't think we're going to get him, though. I'm really surprised we even have as much interest from these players as is. But it's still really frustrating that, even though we're throwing quite a bit of money, they don't seem to care. Justin Fields, that could be a name that Tennessee maybe builds around a little bit, but nah, I don't think he's worth it either, really. I think this team needs to go right back to the well of youth. Running backs, there's some names here, but nothing we don't already have, and then some. Wide receivers, you bring Hopkins back, probably not. Overall, though, free agency is going to be pretty weak for wide receiver early on. Cam Robinson as the right tackle, he's asking for a decent bit of money, but for us, who just doesn't really have much on that offensive line going for us, it's not the worst. Jaguars kind of want him back. Do I see that as, do we have a real chance at this thing? Probably not. We'll throw it on the list, though. You never know. Throw him on the board of targeted, and maybe we get lucky. Do you go with Will Hernandez as well? Even if you don't expect to have a good season, because, you really shouldn't, no matter who we draft. You can at least try to protect the damn guy. So whoever the quarterback is, we're going to try to at least protect them with a decent little offseason here. And, the defense, pretty much everyone across the board, it's a pretty weak, older class. So we are going to take a look at our force, targeted, see if we at least maybe get two. Two of the line would be great. Wow. Okay, we get Will Hernandez. Welcome to the team, buddy. Of all the players there, he was hands down the last ranked player I want. The number one guy we were targeting the whole time. All right, we have pick 1 overall, and I have zero idea what to do. I think there's been rumblings. Oh, the Titans prefer Cam Ward, but with how early in the draft process this is, I don't even think the scouts have an idea who they prefer, let alone passing that information on. So at this point, I really don't think there's a single NFL team that is locked anywhere near what they want. So there's really no, guarantees of who do you want to go with. Cam Ward is potentially the QB1 of the class, but do you see him as QB1 pick 1 is the question. You also have McMillan, a big body framed wide receiver that you could, definitely build around in that pass offense. If you get a guy like Cam Ward, who is he throwing to? What offensive line does he have? I don't know. So with that being said, I'm going to look for trade offers, but if I'm not seeing something that's super lucrative, oh my God, the Raiders are giving me exactly the kind of lucrative trade I'm talking about. I don't know what I do. Basically, the Titans to get max value would need to be trading, I think, to 4. I think the Raiders are the best team because the Giants, do they risk trading up with the Browns? The idea that Titans are trading down anyways is telling you, hey, they probably don't want QB. They're not that comfortable there anyways. So the Giants could sit at 3 and still land basically any QB potentially. The Raiders, however, they're hopping a QB needy, probably likely to grab Giants team. So that trade value would be a lot higher. It's really tough because I just don't know. When it all comes down to it, will the Titans actually go QB? I don't know. I really don't. So I think there's a chance that all 4 of these teams go QB potentially, but I think the trade that the Raiders are offering me is too immense. I have to take it. I'm sorry. I just do. At pick 1 overall, who is this actually going to be? Also, mind you, the Raiders literally have no QB. They genuinely have 0 QB. But here we are. For realism's sake, we're hoping QB. For getting QB at pick 4's sake, we're hoping cornerback. It's Sanders at 1. All right, what are the Browns going to do? Cam Ward, Williams, the Giants at 3. Take Ewers, and at 4, Tennessee still lands Cam Ward. I don't know if that's necessarily the most realistic thing in the world, but I've heard there's, NFL teams right now, at least in the draft process, that don't have any QB in round 1, or maybe only 1 QB in round 1. Is that what's going to happen? Probably not. The NFL is just so QB heavy, pass heavy. You need a guy. You got to take a chance on a guy that if you even think there's a 60% chance he's a serviceable guy, you got to take him probably even in the top 5. It's just that important of a position. But Cam Ward here at pick 4 seems like a steal because it is. We landed extra picks. We still get Cam Ward. He's a normal dev in this class, okay? I also don't think he's 23. I think even when the draft is on, he won't be 23. So we're going to be changing him down in a moment, but let's go down a little bit, speaking of, and see if we can't land a weapon for him as well. I don't think we're going to trade up for a weapon, but it would be interesting. Carolina lands Travis Hunter all the way at 8, which seems like a steal. More QBs are going. We have seen 4 of them in this top 10 slot. And, most of the teams there do need one pretty badly. Let's see what else we have. The Colts at 15th. Loveland. I've seen that a couple of times now, and I'm not really sure why, but this team, McMillan went to 17. Did Burden go? Yeah, he went 11. Okay. If Burden was there, so McMillan, like Buka at 19 as well. Milrow at 20. I get the Steelers are in a weird position at QB. Stewart at 22. Okay, so I don't feel as bad about not really trading up, or it was going to go to trade up at like 30 or something. He went a bit higher than I thought. We really need a weapon, but those kind of weapons are gone. Packers at 27. Let's see what we can do here. Once again, we have a lot of needs, so there's not really a single player where I have to take or a position I have to take. Just kind of what do we see? Could go Ursery at pick one, or not pick one, round one. Could go Connerly. Definitely need O-line. I could see them, kind of making a move upwards to do that. Edge is a big problem too. It's just really hard to get out of that Madden mindset where I know I don't need to really rush O-line too much here, but I also want to get that realism going. So I think we're going to move on until we're down to just one tackle. And if we're lucky, maybe we can just sit. We're not lucky. Maybe we can just sit at pick one in the second. The Lions don't need line. So, as far as like sniping them for the position they're looking for, that's fine. We're not going to do that. They also are missing a lot of draft picks. So this is a pretty fitting trade. Do they do it for a 6th round? Probably not, but we'll see what they think here. Do I really want to give them a 5th round with the evaluation we have? Probably not. A 6th this, a 6th next. It's not much, but it's better than, okay, I was about to say it's better than sitting there and taking someone who they, could probably potentially get the next round. This trade is not really going my way so far at all, I'll tell you that much. Okay, it's moving. It's moving. I really don't even think this Titans team could afford a trade like this where they, even just a couple of 5th rounds. Oh, man, do I really just take the chance that the tackle's still there? It's just not moving the way I want it to. But I worry that any of these next two teams could take them. Please. Nice. Okay, we saved the picks. We still get the guys. Let's just take that tackle. I want an offensive lineman pretty badly, so I am going to be taking, I believe, Josh Connerly. 6'4", 21 years old. Looks pretty good to me, so hopefully we'll land ourselves a hidden. Going to be user-created non-hidden again, though. Watch. Hey! Hidden dev in a user-created class. It's like hitting the damn jackpot. It really is. But we have pick 4 in the second round as well from our trade down. We need wide receiver bad. I really want a taller wide receiver. The problem is we are working within the realm of Madden, so a guy like Kyron Lacey, I don't really know if he's worth it, because he's on the older side. Isaiah Bond, fast, but kind of on the smaller side. Is that really a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 even type? I don't know. Looked at some of these edge rushers, didn't really work out. Tyleek Williams, not the greatest base ratings, but he always seems to develop, so I wonder if, with that athleticism, is he like actually a superstar dev or not? Needs so many things, but wide receiver is like very high amongst them. So I think with the lack of a 3rd round pick as well, Bond goes. Damn, dude. Okay, well, if Bond's gone, I don't think I'm going to make that play anymore. I might have to trade down. I really don't want to, but Bond was my guy. Bond is gone, so I don't think I can reach for a DT. I don't hate Williams here, but I think I have just so many needs. We're going to move on. Trade down. Maybe we can get lucky and land like 2 decent 3rds. Like, who has this team's 3rd round? It wasn't a part of the Chiefs trade, was it? I doubt it. Maybe it was. Yeah, it must have been. Let's get really greedy with them, though, just because, you want to make sure you're not losing value. Okay, I guess that's not greedy at all. A 2/3 and a 4th to move up to the high 2nd. The Chiefs make that move. Who are they going to go for? Didn't actually even see if they won. Scorton, they go with an edge rusher, so not a bad move there. We need so many positions. If it wasn't wide receiver, it was a trade down. If it was, that's really where my mind is at. If it's not a wide receiver, it's a trade down in that spot. We do have Harris still. He is 6'3". The problem is he is 23 as well. I might have to just get over my fears here, though. Trey Harris, going to be the pick. 6'3", 23 years old. Please be hidden. 35 true. I needed a big dude. I needed a wide receiver that could, add to this room. Unfortunately, it's a normal dev 23-year-old. Well, what can I say? Hopefully he develops. And now I'm really struggling with this next pick because I have no idea what I want to do. I don't like Ritzy too much, but he does have an A finesse. I just think he's so raw. like with that athleticism, the strength is just basically non-existent. But if I want DT, that's the last one, right? That's the last guy. I also like Oliver. So I think, you know what? I'm going to go Colin Oliver. 6'2", pretty fast, B finesse. I need edge more than anything. I need to develop those guys as soon as possible. 128 true, normal dev as expected. Do have pick 18 in the 4th round as well, which is nice. Was that another 4th round pick a little bit later too? It was. Oh, this team's kind of cooking. Where do we get these 4th rounds? There's a real life they have 2, so we added a 3rd ourselves. Nice. Could still go wide receiver. This team is really that desperate at the position. Ritzy is still there. The pure value is nice. I also do like Xavier Scott. Also do like some of the safety options. So I think I take Ritzy. Javari Ritzy, 203 true, normal dev. I think we made a mistake, unfortunately. Let's move on to 18 in the 4th round. There's a safety there. Makuba goes. I really should have just slow simmed it instead. Do we have any other safety options, though? We do. Howell. Can't remember how good Howell was. I really don't remember. He just has a little bit of athleticism. That's usually, if it's... I look at base ratings. I look at speed. If you have one of them, you're on my board. Xavier Scott, if I'm not mistaken, is a hidden dev corner. I have no choice but to take him. I need all the help I can get. 54 true. He is hidden. That's the one guy I knew for a fact was hidden. Of the players we took, I believe. Who else did we take? Yeah, I think that's like literally the only guy I knew. Anyone else? Safety is still a problem, and we didn't really do anything for that. Nick is very raw, but he is 6'3", so I think I actually am going to trade to Denver here, and that might be kind of the rest of our draft, especially if it costs me the rest of our draft to move up. Very focused, very serious in this rebuild. We've had a couple of jokey moments earlier on, but I'm dialed in here a little bit, and I'm kind of like, okay, this is going to be a challenging one. I gotta be on my top game, if you will. We're still playing the realism route. We're not, making moves that I think are super out of the, realm of reality, but we are focused a little more than normal. We're gonna go with Iman Worley, M. Worley. I don't know, but he's hidden. That's the butt. 94 speed hidden. Don't tell me this guy is actually supposed to be better than this, and that's why he's hidden, and he actually pulled him down on the... I don't know, dude. I just drafted the guy. It's the first time I've ever taken him. That is 100% the first time. Nice. Okay. Unfortunately, Kreutz is gone. Brenning Stool. I can't remember, but I also think this guy might... be hidden as well. Either way, whether he is or not, I need a tight end that I can develop, even if he's normal. I don't care. 141 true, and he was. Okay, that was the hidden dev. So there's 2 players that I did know, whether inadvertently or physically knew were hidden dev, unfortunately, but whatever. That's going to happen with these classes from time to time. Wide receiver, we have Higgins and Day, another, couple of tall dudes. Did I say Day? I meant Key. I think it was Key. If I'm not mistaken, though, Higgins is actually decently fast, right? I'm pretty sure he's faster than that. Do we go with the tall guy? We're going to go with the tall. He's taller than the other guy by a little bit. 169 true, 89 speed. Yeah, okay, he's not fast at all. That's unfortunate. But let's move on to the next pick. Pick 4 in the 7th. We also did land that first-round pick from the Raiders next year. Considering Cam Ward's normal and Sanders probably at least star, you could easily argue that was worth the trade, right? And here we are with Key. Going to go with another wide receiver. This team needs all the wide receiver help they can get. I think we definitely could have done a little bit more for the line. We definitely could have done a little bit more for the off-ball linebacker situation, but I think we had a decent draft. This team needs all the wide receivers they can get. 3 might even be on the light side. Did get a tackle, got a QB, got an edge rusher, got a DT, got a corner, got a safety, got a tight end. I mean, there's really not many more glaring positional needs on this team that we didn't at least touch on, right? Maybe a little deeper line, maybe a little deeper in the pass rush, the front 4, technically front 7. But I think we addressed as much as we could and still landed that first round next year. Cam Ward, normal development trade. Definitely a guy we can develop. Once again, he is 22, and I think his birthday's in May. So we can put him at number 22, wearing number 1 for us, which is pretty cool. Connerly, obviously it doesn't really matter his dev because he's going to be starter anyways, but this is what he looks like. We got ourselves a start of the second round tackle Maybe we should have traded up to 31 or 32 just to get that fifth-year option. Star Dev, doesn't really matter to me. He's starting no matter what. Trey Harris, 74 overall, though. That's a pretty good draft pick. I can work with him, especially if he has a glow-up season right away. Obviously, he can get any dev up in the world. Colin Oliver, he is a pass rusher, right? 75 finesse, 69 block shed. I've seen worse base ratings than that, so that's something we could definitely work with. I'm not 100% sure everyone's numbers, so I'm just going to leave them as is, whether they are real or not. Ritzy, 67 over. Hey, he's actually really good. Hold on. Let him cook. Is it left end we need? I think it's left end we need. Probably didn't need to go that high for a DT, even though it's basically the start of the fourth anyways. But I like it. Xavier Scott, he'll be slot corner right now. Slot corner number 1. Maybe he works his way up to number 2 if Awuzie regresses into retirement, basically. Iman Worley, or Worry. Did I say Worley last time as well? Raw as hell, but tall as hell. Also hidden dev. He's going to be our starting free safety. Bit tall there, but we've seen some tall free safeties, deep safeties, if you will. Star dev, starter. We have now Brenning Stool. Never developed for us. We drafted him one time before. Star dev. He's okay. He's average. He's got more potential than Okonkwo, though. And then we have 2 wide receivers here who are on the taller frame side. Picks that are probably going to be just completely worthless. Really should have taken a slot type wide receiver with this last pick instead of key, but I mean, we have so many needs for starting linemen that I was kind of like, okay, I got to go for one, and hopefully one develops. But we're going to be putting all of our eggs in the basket of Harris anyways, so definitely should have went for a slot type, but it's a bit past that now. All right, here we have the real year 1 team, led by Cam Ward, running back Tyjae Spears, Harris at number 2. Right guard is new with Will Hernandez, and then Connerly at right tackle. Brenning Stool at tight end 1. Looking at the defensive side of the ball, we end up with Oliver at right out. Middle linebacker 2 is going to be Cedric Gray with all the potential. Worry. I'm just the idiot. Hold on a minute. Where the hell did McCreary become a superstar? What? Wait, hold on. Is he him? Wait, so he's actually going to be number 2 with Awuzie regressing anyways. Ritzy, such a low overall, but maybe he can develop. Maybe he has one of those crazy seasons. Edge is probably problem 1 going forward. It really is right up there in general with QB, but now that Cam Ward's taken care of, hopefully we should be good to really focus on edge, especially with 2 first-round picks. Some people might hate the trade down. I know there's probably a lot of Titans fans that really are wanting that trade down, as there's no clear cut. So we'll see if this works out for us, what they do in real life as well. I'm pretty excited to see that. I really love when draft classes don't have a clear-cut number 1 QB or, number 1 prospect. It's like, ooh, what's going to happen? Last year, there was still some people that thought Fields was going to be the guy, but yeah, I think it was pretty obvious that Caleb was going to be, taken number 1 overall. And you just can't pass on generational with question mark. You can't choose question mark over generational, especially when you have the luxury of having at the time on paper pretty good team. Which, hey, look, the Bears right in our face right here. All right, $89 million halfway through the year. McCreary is a pretty cheap contract for a guy that's a superstar dev. So even if it's $10 million per, we can definitely do that contract. $80 million left. Hooker, no. Okonkwo, he's not a bad backup, but at that evaluation, a little costly. In line with real life, in fairness, but not in line with me. That's all that matters. I don't really care about that. Fifth-year option for Skoronski coming up. Probably just going to go long-term with him, but we'll see. We get Zine headed to the playoffs. I mean, you can kind of tell how this one's going to go. We're still just a bit too early on, It's just a bit too early into this rebuild for anything but the playoffs. In fairness, I didn't actually know if we were going to make it or not, but if we won, I knew we were in. At 9-8, though, we make the playoffs in general. Look at us go. Didn't change the scheme at all because, once again, very early. Want to give the Titans whole situation a chance. Did not finish super strong, but I mean, there's a lot of win-loss. Started off 4-0, beating the Chiefs of all teams. So, I mean, there's a chance, right? It's the Ravens, really tough. But if you can beat the Chiefs, you could kind of beat anybody. So, anything can happen. What is this? 42 touchdowns, 13 picks, 43 yards with base scheme. Of course, running wasn't really that good. Harris was amazing. Did I accidentally change the scheme? I'm going to have to take a look. Because I didn't touch anything. I didn't even go into the scheme. Snead, 7 receptions. That could be X Factor. Narvison needs to be replaced. Stonehouse, pretty good. We'll take a look at the award wins where Harris should be Offensive Rookie of the Year, as he might even be. Well, actually, no. Nah, damn, it is Harris. I was hoping Ward would have got it. But where he could actually just be best wide receiver in general, which he is. You know, he should go straight to Superstar. Okay, so never count anyone out. Best DB Snead as well. But let's take a look at the stats and awards. I am shocked. Is the Titans meta? Is their offense meta? Like, how? I mean, I'm impressed. I'll say if Cam Ward doesn't get to star dev at least, I will be forcing it. I'm sorry, but that's obviously star dev. In real life, that's probably Superstar, right? Like, the bar is kind of low for rookies. Hitting that is ridiculous. Doesn't really take much to be considered, having a good rookie year. That is more than a good. That's an insane rookie of the year. It's top 3 QB in the league already type of deal for the most part. But looking at the, game here at hand, Ravens kind of taking care of business, but we're not done yet. 9-17, 17-17. Feeling kind of optimistic for once, as they're going to waste a lot of that clock. And with 3 timeouts, we will want to lose the game well before that happens. Harris on the streak. Ridley on the outside. This is not a team that is very ready to win yet, but yet here we are going against a really good team with a chance to do so, as we're not even going to have enough time to throw it to the side. Drive switch, kind of looking at that right side, whether it's to Brenning Stool right away or if it's to Harris if we wait a little bit. And I was about to throw it to him. We do get it to Ridley, who gets the first down. What a throw by Cam Ward. Near instant pressure again. Cam Ward, hit as he's throwing, delivers. Harris down the sideline, and he will get out of bounds, I believe. I don't think that's going to be considered backwards, right? That'll be another first down at 32. Clock is really low, though, unfortunately. Harris on that wheel route again. Ridley in the corner. As Cam Ward is going to have enough room to run. Not the fastest man in the world. Gets out of bounds. Got to stop thinking about out of bounds now, though. I think we're going to be leaving with one of our timeouts here. So middle of the field is absolutely a spot to look. It's just there really wasn't anywhere else to go with the ball in general. He's going to catch it, get some more yards, get a little bit closer for a setup. Kind of go verticals here. Maybe you go post with Ridley. I don't think you're going to get 2 chances, so just trying to keep an eye on where everyone is. Oh! Dot! Calvin Ridley! And I cannot have that good of a drive, an unexpected drive, and end it on a failed 2-point. I am going to overtime. This throw was unbelievable. He steps in to cover the tight end, I think. This throw is unbelievable. If we wait any longer, any other player on the field gets to this ball, that is maybe the best throw, considering the situation, I have made all Madden. That is unbelievable. That is crazy. As if he misses this extra point, he hits it. It's overtime. I'd rather lose in overtime after a play like that than... Is this us, by the way? Hold on. Look, if we get a stop, we win the game. And we will not, but now a touchdown wins it. Oh, no. I don't really believe in our defense. Oh, it was all for nothing. Oh, that is an unbelievable play for a rookie to make. Just the team around him couldn't get the job done. Giving up 34 points, you're never going to win a game like that. Ward was unbelievable. Obviously, we kind of, bumped those numbers up a little bit on that final drive, but even then, it was, take away 50 yards and a touchdown. It's still 280 in the playoffs. It's pretty good with no run game as well. Harris has been great. Talk about a guy that I took him because I was like, I like the size. Maybe he is hidden in this class. I don't know. Wasn't, but he has worked out so far tenfold what I thought he was going to. Of course, also the kicker, really good there in the playoffs. Not so good in the regular season, but yeah, disappointing end to a game that, that was a crazy one. That play was unbelievable, yet all for nothing. In the Super Bowl, you have another kind of out of left field one. The Chargers and the Vikings. I'm kind of digging it. Kind of digging the random matchups, if you will. I can't even really say random because Buccaneers and the Bills still have a chance easily to make the playoffs, or not make the playoffs, Super Bowl. You have the Vikings here beating the Chargers. Cam Ward's got to be star. Harris got to be superstar. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I was asking for. That's what we get. We need a new wide receiver, which I did focus scouting on wide receiver still. Harris jumps to an 85 overall after year one. Short route's not great, but everything else is really good already. And yeah, I mean, that was one hell of a season. I was not expecting that. Finally, a season that exceeds expectations. As on the defensive side of the ball, we did not have Ritzy go up. Did go up a few overalls, but kind of a wasted season from him a little bit. Oliver, a 74 overall. Sneed, he is on the older side, but he did get to X Factor, so if there was ever a chance for him to stick around a bit longer, that was his chance, getting to X Factor. I think he's going to probably just miss out on, if there is a Super Bowl parade, on that Super Bowl parade, but once again, he did the best he physically can to stick around, which is get that X Factor dev. Cam Ward obviously going to star. Really balanced, really good quarterback already. I'm surprised, though, that the Titans scheme is built like that. Really surprised by it, but let's, what is the press conference? Media availability, we don't care about those. Those are literally all negatives. What's even the point? Why waste my time? Why make our team worse? I'm just going to ignore a stupid mechanic in the game. Skoronski at 80 overall. I think because we have money now, we have a rookie quarterback, rookie contract quarterback, you do just wait it, but, any other rebuild, maybe I would have went the fifth-year option, because that is cheap, but you're hurting yourself long-term. If he gets to an 83, 84, and then, now he's winning 13, 14 mil per year instead of 8 to 10 as is, long-term, you're hurting yourself for a short-term gain. It's just stupid. Retirements, Verrett, Reef, Woods, and Abdullah. Amir Abdullah, I usually call him, so I don't think it's Abdullah, so not really sure where that one came from. Free agency, almost 100 mil. Anyone? Tight end? Yeah, I get it. Kind of need that position. Maybe that is a position where, like, hey, we should go for that. Tooney, we could use a right guard. You could use a center. Right tackle, I'm fine with. Left tackle, I'm fine with. Tooney. Mr. Tooney. I really like the fact that he's oh, wait, did I just see Isaiah Pacheco? Okay, I am so freaking sorry, Tajay, but it is not every day that you get a chance at a starting running back. Don't do it to me, Chargers. Please. This is like the one position that I absolutely need to sell out on every time I get a chance. Oh, the Chargers are going to do it to me, and I know it, and there's nothing I can do. And then you have Cook there, who it's like, do you maybe throw away? I'm going to put an offer on Cook and see what, the argument is here. Like maybe it's a 4-bar. I'll go for the quote-unquote lesser player if it means I'm going to guarantee them, Actually, I don't even know if that's true. Ooh, wait, I can maybe throw a base contract down there and maybe get away with it because they're not really offering them. I mean, we need all the talent we can get. If it's 2 running backs in the offseason that gets us there, I don't care, How good was Brennan Stool before we move on? So Brennan Stool is only a 72 overall, which tells me his season was terrible. I mean, it's not bad. Let's see what Mark Andrews did. Once again, playing for a team that usually does very well, has a very good quarterback, and has him on that roster as a kind of like basis for how many stats and how many numbers he should have. Oof, he just had his best year, like one of his best years yet. I really don't want to do 4-year, but I do a 3. We're about to have like a literal real life. Ooh, maybe they can't do that. A literal real life Titans free agency here, like we did. They did in real life. I need to get to that next level, but I don't want to do 4-year. Can we do it? Did I just literally offer this? No, I didn't. All right, so we're in the our hats being thrown in there. Once again, if we're ever spending money, this is the time to do it. This is when we're having our most money. Stupid Chargers, bro. I am sick of it. I am so sick of it. All right. I mean, we're in like a battle for 3 huge names with the Chargers directly here, pretty much. Hell, I'll even go for Ryan Kelly, dude. I'm just, at this point, I'm throwing all the money because we just had a great season with not a great team. Imagine we actually start building around this squad. We also did lose Hooker, but we could probably just draft a new safety. I don't know if E-Man Worry even worked out for us, really, if you really want to consider it. But at the same time, I also don't want to pay a free agent that's not worth the money. Really, we're maxed out. I was about to say, really not a great speed player, but Hickman might be my guy. Either way, we should have at least 2 of these guys. I'm hoping. All right, what do we got? All 5 are gone. How many do we get? We got all 5! These guys, they see it just like we do. I didn't really want James Cook when it was all said and done. I just wanted to guarantee one of them. 5-year 70 for Pacheco, but we do get a 3-year 27 for Cook. It's not the worst contract we've ever had. And once again, we get a great left guard. We get a really good tight end. We get a brand new center. This is a glow up. All right, we make a sort of draft trade. Tyjae Spears in a 4th round pick for the Giants pick 70 and 134, which our pick was like 110. So we gain like a late 3rd in value, I think, from that, which I think is fine. Tyjae is an 83 overall 25-year-old. It's just we kind of cut some corners there a little bit. Also, I think we can get rid of Pollard for a loss of nothing. I mean, not a bad player. It's just he's regressed, obviously, into the ground for the most part. Pacheco, though. Woo! That was a move. Got Cook as well, so, I mean, got those 2 running backs. So maybe don't have the best wide receiver room outside of Harris, but we do at least have a really good running back room. We got a new tight end. This team is actually building up pretty nicely. Can we lose? Damn, Cushenberry is kind of locked in here. And then Joe Tooney was honestly just a pick of like, hey, he's so good, why not just go for him? And now I just don't know what to do with him. So we grabbed 2 linemen we arguably didn't need, but hey, we're actually a destination now, huh? And Landry, if we can get an edge rusher, probably will be gone. Didn't have a good season anyways, and obviously he is worth a lot of money here, which we don't want to pay. Awuzie is also going to be gone here in a moment. Need a safety still. That's what I was trying to get, but all the teams that had a safety to trade just couldn't afford Spears, which is crazy because he's like basically, you know, free at this rate because he's on a rookie deal as a running back, but they're just all in the negative, so couldn't get a safety. I was even going to go for Taylor Rapp, 83 overall, 28-year-old strong safety. Why not? But unfortunately it didn't happen. But yeah, the Giants jumpstart their rebuild with Spears acquisition. Not a bad move by them. I think we got pretty good value, but he's a running back, so I didn't want to get too much to make it unrealistic. What are the draft picks looking like anyways? Obviously, ours aren't going to be that good, but the Raiders are still a top 5. What a risk, but we've seen it. We have seen it. That's going to work out nicely for us. Likely going the route of edge rusher, but we're still best available. Wide receivers, you know, still a huge positional need, so best available is going to be very relevant to us, but edge, wide receiver, those are the top 2. All right, it feels illegal that we should have pick 3 after having a decent season, but that's exactly what we have. Stallings, right tackle for the Bears, pick 1, and then Boston, wide receiver 2. I seen that guy. He's kind of like a smaller type of wide receiver, but there's a lot of solid ones in this class. I don't know who the hell I would want to take the most, but a pick 20, or age 20 anyways, top 5 talent guy, definitely intrigues me quite a bit. That's probably who I'd be looking to take a little bit later. Really want edge. The problem is none of these edge rushers really look like pick 3 overall worthy. You know, we have Tennant, who's, you know, good speed, A, power move, B, block shed, but round 1 to 2 talent could be anywhere between, you know, here and there of is this guy, you know, that guy or not. But I'm struggling because if we are going to be sitting in this 3-4, which I really don't want to be, but we should because that's what they are, you probably need to take an outside linebacker, and all of them are top 5, you know, round 1 guys. If I can move back to 7 with the Steelers, really? That's the offer? They're watching. They heard it. It's like, yeah, well, yeah, you want to move back with the Steelers? Here you go, 7th round pick. Try to trick me. Maybe it's worth the trade down. You know what? I'm going to do the realistic thing and just take a player up here. I don't know who to take, but I'm going to take somebody else. I didn't scout this guy because, you know, he's around, you know, he's 23 years old. But, okay, yeah, there is nothing I'm missing there. I'm going to have to take one of these pass rushers, one of these linebackers, because that D-end, he's not really a 3-4 type of edge, right? Oh, he's actually not bad, though. You know what? I'm going to trade back. I'm going to trade back to 15. That's final answer. I was going to do the realistic thing. Nope, I want more draft picks. If there was someone worthy of that pick right then and there, I'd do it. They weren't. They just simply weren't. Crap, I accidentally skipped it because I double-clicked A, but this was the trade. We ended up trading Levis, I think a 5th, a 6th, and pick 3 for a 1st, 2nd, and 3rd from the Falcons. I thought we were going to get a little bit more value than that, but I guess pick 3 just wasn't really up there. They go with a left end Booker. Hopefully one of the wide receivers is still there. Hopefully all the edge rushers that we want are still there. Morrison does go pick 8, so I guess the value would have been there. Pure, should we take him in that slot? All the wide receivers in the world are still there, so we have enough to move to our next pick, which means that I believe we will be taking Britton, who, once again, he's a little big for outside linebacker, but they did trade, not they trade, but the Steelers, they got Preston Smith, so why not, Jonathan Britton for the Titans? Kind of like a Preston Smith. 23 true, and he was hidden. Okay. Not really, I'm excited because it's great. It's hidden dev, it's awesome. A lot of edge rushers I've drafted, I've seen are normal dev, but I'm still just kind of like, did we make the right call? Because it's not really the right scheme, And then with this pick, just based on the age of being 20 as a top 5, I think it's made its selection a long time ago. Pick 19, Pierre Allen, true of talent 4, also hidden. I absolutely went into this one thinking he was normal dev because, really high true talent. Wide receivers, we've seen plenty of normal devs in the past. It just makes the most sense that he would just be, normal dev. But no, we actually lucked out there as well. Safeties, there's a couple of decent ones. I really need one of them. So Snead, Leclerc, Blanton, we're going to trade up for whoever is remaining. And here we go. We trade up to pick 4 from the Panthers using all of this. I have 2 safeties still there, but I have decided that I want Blanton a little bit more. So, I have a preference, so I will be going for that player. Where is he? It is Mr. Dontrell Blanton, 5'11", great man, decent zone, very athletic. This is another guy that I would kind of maybe see as a normal dev, high overall, 19 true, and it seems like this time it actually has come true, unfortunately, as that is a position that I've not seen a whole lot of dev up success from, but at the end of the day, I think it's another really good pick for us. A lot of different other kind of players we need. I think DT is still absolutely one of them. So if there is a guy that I really like here at 19, I am not going to hesitate. Sick of that meme. What do we got? A bunch of DTs. Okay, so they're all still here. We also need at least one linebacker, arguably 2, as far as the defensive tackles themselves go. We have one of them being a nose tackle. So Holmes is probably going to be kind of off my radar a little bit. As far as who is the best, Hawkins is a front runner. Tongue is close, but I don't like the fact that he's a B finesse versus Hawkins. Let's compare. Obviously, a little bit less in the size for Hawkins. 34 reps for a 3 versus Tongue is a little more raw, but he's not as strong. So he's about the same technically as Hawkins. Let's take a look at Blake as well. Don't know the finesse, but you can maybe argue that it's probably an A. He's got A tackle as well. I don't know who to take here. Hawkins is slightly undersized, but he is going to be playing left end, so I guess we'll take Hawkins. I don't know. I don't really love it, but let's see. 37 true. Normal dev. Oh, my lord. It's never good when we have a choice and we suck. We always pass on the hiddens when we do something like that. So pick 14 in the 3rd round with pick 6 right here. Awesome. Maybe the other DT's still there. They are not. That is for certain. A lot of fast linebackers, so it's kind of hard to tell who's who. But it does seem like Teague is kind of the fastest. Trey Teague, 6'1", 21 years old. We're going to start with Teague, but doesn't mean we're going to end there. 51 true. Another normal dev, though. Could still see Cedric Gray be a starter, but if I can find another linebacker, maybe one of these times this guy's hidden, maybe we just revamp that entire linebacker room. Smith, he was the guy that skipped the combine, right? Left side, I like it. At that size as well, JT Smith, 57 true talent. Damn, also normal, but yeah, looks like a good player with the key ratings and that athleticism. We also have pick 19. Unfortunately, it was a pretty weak offensive line class, so I guess it's a good time to have a pretty, I almost said thick, that would have been a weird way to say it, deep group of players. Also looking at these edge rushers, both of them, I imagine they're edge rushers with that frame, but they could be off ball as well, you never know. But, Derude definitely looks like an edge rusher with that A power move. I think even though he's on the slower side, since we're not established at edge, I'm going to take a chance on him. Ben Darute or Duarte. Maybe it's Duarte. I don't know. Normal dev. Do whatever you want on your free time. You get it like Duarte. Okay. All I'm saying is his hobbies are none of my concern. And Narvison, I don't even remember if we paid him or not, but I think we're going to be looking for a new kicker as well. And none of the kickers are really that good, but Meadows is okay, I guess, so we'll take him. True talent 81. Normal dev, 92 kick power. Looking at the draft recap, some pretty good players here, actually. Jonathan Britton, once again, not really the scheme fit on that outside linebacker spot, but he's actually decently athletic, really good power move. Left out, right out, we need all of it. So right now, left outside linebacker, dev. Okay. I did not expect an X Factor. I thought, he was going to be one of those, he's so easy to tell, he's going to be, normal or star. No, an X Factor. This rebuild so far has gone way better than I thought it was going to be. What about Allen? There's no shot. 2 X Factors in the same class. That's insane. Of course, Blatton was normal, but, he's got potential, more of a corner anyways, but there we go. Of all the rebuilds that need it, too. Oh, yeah, I forgot Hawkins also normal dev. Yeah, we really needed that because we landed a couple of normal devs for guys that we were hoping would be long-term starters. Still could be, obviously, but it's going to take a little bit more effort to get there. These middle linebackers, both normal, both the same overall. I think we're going to roll both of them as well. We're going to let them both start. Really good block shed and zone for him, so pretty balanced. Then we move on to Smith, who is a little bit slower, but a little bit taller. Also pretty balanced, I suppose. Really good hip power as well. Those are our top 2 middle linebackers, I think, even with Gibbons and Gray there. Then we also have, is that Duarte? Duarte, I guess. Really good power move as well. Kind of a normal dev version of the guy that we just drafted. Going to be putting this guy right out. I don't know if he'll actually start, though, because Oliver's there, but whatever happens, happens. I'm just here for the ride. What else did we have? Boston, 79 overall. I guess we could compare to Morrison, but there's really no points. Taiwan Morrison, really cool name. Very athletic, does fit more as a 3-4 edge. Potentially drop him back. Probably not often, but sometimes. Then we could have had Tennant as well. That would have been on our list. Owen Tennant, wow. We dodged him. Like, if I was going to sit there and draft, it would have been like 40% Tennant, 60% Morrison, and obviously our guy was better than both by a lot. DT, you know what? I can't remember all the names. I'm just going to go out on the limb and say that because our guy was normal, there's a really good chance that whoever we passed on was probably hidden, right? That guy's 3-3-2. It doesn't really count. He, nose tackle we don't really need. We got Sweat. But we had, a Blake, hidden dev, could have had him. Was Blake actually like the guy? No, it wasn't. Who was let's actually look at the guy. Blake was on our list, but we didn't know enough about him. It was Tongue. Okay, so, we didn't really do bad. Our guy was definitely better than him. Season 2, the team looks really good, I gotta be honest. If this team plays like how they should, when you consider that last year we were way worse than we are now, this team should be easily back in the playoffs and maybe then some. Obviously, still a lot of question marks on the defensive side of the ball. Edge specifically, the right outside linebacker position, middle linebacker positions, safety even, left end potentially, corner long term with Snead being only, an 88 overall while being, 30 now, about to be 30, 29, either way regressing nonetheless. The team is obviously in such a better state than I thought it would be at this point, but still might be a little bits away. All right, maybe we were wrong on Skoronski. He's about $14 million per, though, which I think, in the long run costs way more if we would have, prolonged it. Tooney, if he's still around and we want to afford him, you know what? We might just jump the gun a little bit and just sign him. Hopefully he doesn't retire at 34. We see a couple times here and there, but hopefully this time's now one of them. 1 year, 19. Bit cheaper than we had to pay in the offseason, free agent-wise. 67 mil, Ryan Kelly, probably going to drop down to an 81, 82, so probably not worth it. And I think everything else is taken care of. And, I get it. I suppose this is actually something I should want, but a little random to have been worse off while being a better team. I suppose, though, like I said, we should want this, right? You shouldn't always be a good... just because you're a better team or you're a good team, you shouldn't always be winning games. So the inconsistency actually is better, I suppose, in terms of realism. You just never know, right? Like, look at what happened to the Bengals this year. Like, on paper, you would have thought they were going to be top 2 seed. And instead, they're limping along, But Cam Ward, 26 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, 4,000 yards. As far as Pacheco goes, way better still, though, with the Titans scheme, not getting the numbers we wanted. But the averages are good. Allen, not quite the season Harris had, but still good. Harris, not a lot of touchdowns, but a lot of yards. Ridley was great in the slot, and then Andrews just not worth it with this scheme. O-line, pretty good, but, once again, this scheme kind of just does that. Edge, oof, man, even with an X factor. 3.5 sacks. I hate 3-4 defenses. Meadows, 75% completion percentage for a rookie. That's not bad. Stonehouse back over 50 and all that good stuff. Yearly awards, Mahomes wins MVP. Definitely not going to be close with Ward. It finished better than it started, but yeah, not a great season. Allen, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Teague was number 2 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. That sucks to not win it. QB, not on the list. Running back, number 6. Wide receiver, number 7. O-line at number 3, even though he didn't play, so it doesn't really count. Simmons at number 2. Linebacker, obviously not there. DB, no. Kicker, no. Missed the playoffs on top of it, so very, very disappointing. Might be time for a scheme change. I think, considering I think we got lucky last year, not unlucky this year, so probably will need a scheme change. I don't know what to, but something with, I guess, similar players to this team. I don't really know if there's a team like that, though. Maybe the Lions scheme. Lions actually makes sense, right? You got a really good wide receiver, 1, even though St. Brown kind of moves around a bit. Solid number 2. 2 really good running backs and a really good tight end. And a solid offensive line and a good above-average QB. I think that actually is pretty fitting. So maybe that is what we do. We'll do the defensive coordinator thing, try to get our free XP, free upgrades. After we look at our DevOps, obviously the Giants win by 10 there. Chargers all over the place. That was them, right? I freaking just glanced through. But yeah, that's pretty impressive. I forgot. Allen is already an X factor. So after one season, he's already higher than Harris, who obviously had a great year himself. This team has once again had a crazy glow up. Still missed the playoffs this year, which was really unexpected. I really thought we were going to make it. And then, of course, every time, dude, Joe Tooney at 34 is like a lock to retire. Going forward, I am not going to be re-signing him in those situations. He's just like I said, he's a lock to retire at 34 like every single time. We did have Smith and Teague at the top 2 spots. Don't worry about it. It's just they kind of adjusted because of the retirements, I think. But Oliver goes to star dev. Not many dev-ups on the defensive side of the ball. Well, really at all on the team. But he does go to star, so maybe there's something there. I really, once again, still just don't trust in a 3-4, but we got to stick out with the 3-4. Hawkins is good enough. We drafted him high enough to continue this, and obviously I'm not going to move on from Sweat. Maybe when Simmons is gone, we do something different, perhaps. Snead, though, 89 overall, pretty good. Bland didn't go up in dev, which sucks. Defensive side of the ball definitely needs a bit more focus. Still, though, offensive line needs some work, too. Maybe we do re-sign Ryan Kelly now that we lost Tooney. Not for sure, but maybe. We have... I don't want to replace 2 offensive linemen in one offseason. See who they want to focus on. Oliver. It is Hawkins or Simmons. I guess Simmons because he's a bit older, and Hawkins is still not even guaranteed to be our long-term franchise guy. All right, negotiations. We're a little over $100 million. This time, though, 5th-year option, Latham, 84 overall already. I think we're going to do that, especially with his interest being low. Maybe if we win some more games, he'll be a little bit more comfortable re-signing anyways. And then, of course, Ryan Kelly, who I thought that was easily a fair offer, doesn't want to stick around. 17 mil is a bit high for an 83 overall, so we'll try to get him back. Just re-signing him, I can do if it's a 1-year 17, I could literally just do a 1-year 17 in free agency and pretty much all but guarantee him joining, since he joined as is on cheaper than that as a better player, right? Let's take a look at free agency, though. Linderbaum, I could do even better, apparently. Do I go crazy on Linderbaum? 3-year deal? Cam Ward would still be kind of like under contract if we go with a 5th-year option. Problem is, there's other teams that want him too. Frank Ragnow, I'm going to offer both and see if there's any team that isn't 5-barring. Okay, so Frank is a bit older, but he's also a little more guaranteed. Man, talk about going to the freaking Lions scheme as well. Right as we're about to get Frank. This is, kind of perfect. Ward, 31. We already have a 31-year-old corner, 30-year-old corner, if you will. That's kind of on that aging side. Kelly, there's no one really offering him, so we'll do a 4-year deal there. Spending most of our free agent money on O-line, but even then, you look at how much money we have left over, we could spend even more, because there's not really a position to do that for. If there was a DT, maybe, but that is not one of the positions that is available, unfortunately. All right, we have the highest offers. I'd be really disappointed if we don't get Frank. Come on, Frankie. There you go. Frank Ragnow, almost a 20 million per, but 91 overall superstar. He should be fine. I also realized we just got Kelly back, and we already had a center here with Frank, but we can easily move Kelly to right guard. I'm fine with it. All right, we're in the draft. We have pick 11. Really did not think we would be drafting this high by year 3 after the season 1 we had. It's kind of hard to tell what I want to do with this pick because it's a very high draft pick for what we need. Although you do see we have a top 5 corner here, kind of future-proofing a position that definitely will need some attention soon. At 11, if he's top 5, do I not just take the pick? Because I've seen, once again, we've seen 1 to 2s go all the way up to 14 to 16. I don't know if he would. I think we'd be fine to trade down. And honestly, considering we don't really need the corner, I'm going to go to 18. 16 to 18, whatever the best offer is. Oh, damn, look at the freaking Bills trying to set us up for life. But, nah, I do want that corner. 17. I prefer to get a little bit better of a trade, though. So let's go to 17, but manually do this. All right, we trade down, but really felt like we're trading up. We trade a 5th this, a 5th next, and a 5th the following year with that first-round pick, Cushenberry and Gray, to get 17 and the middle of the pack second round for the Commanders. Watch Burke will be gone by 17. That would suck. He didn't go? Okay, I mean, we could even get further if we're lucky, but I'm not going to risk anymore. It's a position we don't need right now, but at the same time, he looks good, right? Jason Burke. Feeling normal dev, though. True talent 1, but yes, normal dev. 95 speed. I feel like he's going to be like a weak draft class number 1, though. I said number. Like 78? 70, I like to guess the overall. I'm thinking 78. Let me know what you guys think. Put it in the comment section below. I don't know why that would matter, because you could easily just change it. And I know we all have the highest egos in the world. We can never be wrong. Do I want to take a lineman this high? No, because there's a 3 to 4 there. The other 3 to 4 is a center. Yeah, I can live with both of those. Everyone's a 3 to damn 4. What about Demario Hoover? Super athlete. Don't really need a DT that bad, though. I need linebackers, so I'm going to trade down both of these picks. I feel bad because it's like, oh, everything's a trade down, but it's the smart move. Like, what can I do? We're playing a game at the end of the day, and we kind of know what we're doing around here, Sometimes I get comments, people thinking, I don't know what I'm doing here. I actually think the trade downs at times are so good of a move that we almost need to, limit ourselves. That's how strong trade downs are, in my opinion, that we need to limit ourselves. So when people are like, oh, you should have went and taken the guy up here, you missed out on a superstar. It's like, okay, I might have missed out on a superstar, which A, wasn't even guaranteed in the first place, but B, I gained 3-star devs. What would you rather have, 1 superstar or 3-star devs when you need 10, 15 positions, If I drafted the way some people suggest me to draft, it would be a 10-year rebuild before we have a halfway decent team. And even then, most of the guys would start regressing from the top down. So, yeah, I don't know if we'll be doing that. But here we are now looking at the round 3. Got a 2 to 3 still there, by the way, which is kind of crazy. The center, he's decent. Not great, but this guy, obviously, Murray, had our eye on him a lot. Watch, he'll be the one guy that's normal. Knowing our luck. True talent 26. Hey, and Dev, no, I mean, sure, maybe knowing our luck, but this time at least it actually did kind of work out. Then we have pick 6, we have pick 11. We have a pick a lot of everything. We also don't technically even need linebacker, but the guy we got, the guys we got are still normal dev after their rookie year, and you know me, I don't give many chances. Wyatt Burris ended up looking a little bit better. 2 to 3, still there. See if we get lucky. 55 true. Hendev, okay, I was about to say, I was getting ready to do the whole, I knew it, I should have known. Why was he still there if he was good situation? But no, it actually, he was hidden. So we landed 2 linemen for the future. All of our linebackers were outside linebackers, unfortunately, or at least all the linebackers remaining. And with that, I mean, all these guys are really raw looking. I suppose Gordon looks the best of the bunch, so we'll go Eddie Gordon if he's normal dev. I'm just not even going to bother with any of the other linebackers. True talent. Oh, it is actually 63. Of course he's hidden. So now I do have to maybe make that executive decision to go back up and get another 2 4th-round picks and a third round, or for a third round from the Buccaneers, which we're going to take Matthews, the linebacker. Is that lineman still there? No. Well, actually, there's McLean, but I don't really need that many. Ruben Matthews, smaller, but pretty athletic, hoping for the best. If this guy's hitting, we got ourselves another weird linebacker situation, and he is. So we're opting out of pure speed, if you will, for pure dev, which really good draft picks. I mean, the odds of hitting those 2 linebackers was not feeling great, but yet we did. We're now in the 4th round, and unfortunately, the players you're looking at are gone. What about this safety? He's athletic, but he's also raw. Trading down for next year, I think, is going to be our play. Trade a 4th and a 5th this year for the Bears' 3rd. Of course, that the 4th and the 5th were high draft picks, so fitting, very fair. And then we're going to go back to the special teams I think, here in the 7th to finish the draft. Draft recap, yeah, less than 78. I mean, True Talent 1 is great, but 77 overall True Talent 1 isn't as impressive. Still a good player, but yeah, that pick probably not worth 17, let alone 11. We land 2 hidden development trade offensive linemen as well, which I think we don't actually need for this season, but maybe the following season. And then Burris, don't actually know where I need him. Our line is actually young enough, especially with that right guard we just drafted, to not really worry about line for the future. I guess you put him in left guard for now, but yeah, I mean, I think we're fine until needing to pay left tackle, right tackle. Gordon and Matthews, both hidden dev. Both need to be moving to middle linebacker, though, so we'll just do that right now and take a look at the devs while we're there. Maybe not the best fit for actually putting a middle linebacker, but you know what? They're hidden dev. Maybe one of them be a superstar. Plus, what do we have for the fullback? He's terrible. I mean, I just took a fullback in the 7th because the kickers and punters didn't look so good. Matthews definitely way worse in coverage, but moving to a middle linebacker nonetheless. Nope, both star, nothing special. Not our best draft. Here we are for season 3. I don't know why, but Ward's looking like he's melting. But we settled on the Vikings offensive scheme. I've seen J.J. McCarthy in the past do some things. Don't know how good that scheme actually is, but I feel like we're kind of similar. You got a really good running back. You got 2 good wide receivers, really good wide receivers, solid tight end, solid quarterback, solid offensive line, especially at the tackle positions. Just felt the most like close to it if we're going to switch schemes. Defensively, obviously, that 3-4 is still just like a, are you ever really going to get anything out of it? Safeties are kind of lackluster. Corners, sure, we got Scott and Burke, but what's the ceiling there? And then Sweat, he's only an 82 overall, and he's 26 now. So is there really even much of a reason to stick it out with a 3-4 if our nose tackle isn't developing anyways? I don't know, but it's weird. Year 1, and we felt like we were in a really good spot, and now after year 2, the way it played, and some of the overalls I'm seeing with the age regression, especially on the defensive side of the ball, I don't feel as confident anymore. Simmons also got a couple of upgrades. I wish he would have went for like block shed or something like that, but he's like, nah, I want some excel and some strength. Fair enough. There's got to be a lot of names. We have a lot of money. And Snead at 89 overall, if I can afford him, which hopefully, it's not more than 20 mil, which we'll try. I would love to bring him back. So yeah, no matter what, 87 overall, he's worth it. Simmons, man, I would not like to do more than like even a year at this rate, which he takes. What a guy. 102 mil. We talked about Sweat really not being worth the money. I mean, half tempted to move to a 4-3 on top of it. I mean, what about these numbers is telling me to bring him back, Like, it's just, nose tackles aren't going to have the flashy numbers, but they're going to have numbers better than that by midweek, mid-season point. We still have a lot of money. Kelly's going to be gone for sure because he might just retire, but in general, probably wouldn't have, want him back anyways because we have, other options. And then Ward with a 5th-year option. I think it's fine. I don't think we need to go with that route. To the playoffs, really good start of the season. Not so much in the second half. Still gonna actually be in the playoffs, which is a great step. But yeah, we could have had so much better. We end up with the number 2 seed at 12-5, despite starting the season off 7-0. I mean, not a terrible finish, but also not a great one. Losing a couple of games in there, losing 3 of the last 5. Not really how you want to finish. If you're going to, lose some games, you'd rather lose them right out the gate and then turn it around. Instead, we're dwindling. Cam Ward, very efficient. Yards are great. Touchdowns are solid. Rushing, pretty good with Pacheco. 1,400 yards, 5 yards per carry with 12 touchdowns. Allen stealing all the touchdowns, 21 of them, 1,100 yards. Harris, 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. And then Andrews, 3 touchdowns, 760 yards. Ridley at 751 with 5. That's a really, those numbers. I'll gladly use this playbook again. Okay, we were going to give up on this 3-4, but hold on a minute. As Oliver, who's not even the better of the two technically, got an 11.5 sack season with Britton at 7.5, Hawkins at 11, Simmons at 13. Of course, we don't talk about Sweat. He's a nose tackle anyways. Picks are a bit low, but there you go. This is the type of season I was hoping to have. Maybe we don't have to change anything up at all. MVP goes to Jalen Hurts. Any awards for us? No Rookie of the Year award wins. QB was at 5. Running back was at 2. Wide receiver was at 3. O-line at 1. Burris, that's really undeserved, but at the same time, you could argue that it could have went to Skoronski anyways. Then you also have Ragnow and Kelly. Really good offensive line. We got Simmons, number 6, linebacker, and number 5 and 10. DB, no. Kicker at 8. But we're back in the postseason, which means we have a shot to win it all. 9-8 Raiders. Let's see. This should be a cupcake win, but we are us, so who knows. All right, end of the game. Like I said, it should be a cupcake win. Yet here we are down 14-3, 14-6, 21-6, 21-9. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure. 35-16, 38-16. Nice little push right at the end. You literally have to score on this play, and then the onside kick, you need to it's over. What are we even doing here? Allen holds on 3 seconds. There's a sliver of a chance, but wow. Oh my God. Another just stupid playoff loss. This one way worse, but how many of these are we going to see this Madden, I don't know if you want to do... What do you mean heavy? Okay, I guess all the onside kicks. Strong onside, that's usually where I get most of my success. Kicking hard. It's going to go low. That's really where you want it. Switch to the wrong guys and return this for a touchdown. Stripping him again. Could you imagine the kicker would have stripped him? That would have been insane. Down to the 1. The game is lost. Disappointing. Just, what a joke, dude. But they do have Brock Purdy, so I guess things do happen. Ward, not at the loss fault yet again. Team's just letting him down. Pacheco was actually really good for once. What was his... his long was only 29, so it's not like it was all off of 1 and consistency was terrible or something. Allen was great. Of course, Jacoby Myers, who's probably like an 80 overall right now. 119 yards. Why wouldn't he? Defensively, no pressure from us at all. Gordon and Williams with interceptions. Just another, disappointing, stupid sim. Bills and Eagles in the Super Bowl. Been seeing a lot of the Bills, a lot of the Chargers as well. Those two teams have kind of had a run in this rebuild, which usually you don't. You guess the Bills you do see, but the Chargers not so much. The Bills winning by 1. What a damn game that was. 1 point. It's got to be a Super Bowl of the ages. Looking at offense, Pacheco to X Factor. That's pretty big. 28 years old. Regression may have already been hidden as it has. 29 is going to be somewhat tough. 30 is going to be really tough. So at least we seemingly have our running back set for the rest of this rebuild. Andrews obviously regressing as well. But for 32-year-old, he's still looking pretty damn good. Athletic as hell. Really good catching. Great route running. He's really solid. What about the O-line? Did Ryan Kelly actually retire? No, he did not. I was about to say, it seems like he did. Nope, he did not. Then we move on to the defensive side of the ball where Simmons has regressed a little bit. That's why we did the 1 year. Same with Snead. But they're still really good. Just super disappointed that Blanton didn't really go up. And then, of course, look at the linebackers, man. It's just, you got to win Rookie of the Year. Otherwise, these linebackers just never get going. Is 150 XP sliders not high enough? Is that what I'm hearing? Of course, Hawkins, really good season. Still didn't go up in dev, though, unfortunately. 80 overall. You might as well look for more guys if, he's not going to get a dev up. His ceiling's going to be maxed pretty quickly. We had a good 3-4 season, so they luck out just barely to sticking out with the same scheme. But I will be looking at DTs. Don't worry about it. Cam Ward, that 5th-year option. You're probably going to be paying that anyways, long-term. So let's just take care of the long-term now. Sweat, too much money for what he is. Just not that good. He really has done nothing for us. Only an 83 overall. So If he's not playing well and his overall is not high, what value is he really bringing? You know, it's just, I'd rather get like a 310-pounder that's like a 90 overall. Gibbs, a 26-year-old running back, would be great. Oh, hey, perfect timing for we're in the market for a defensive tackle. Jalen Carter's a pretty big dude, so let's see if we can get him. He's a lot of money, though, so you are costing yourself more, but let's try to ruin the plans of the Giants to take revenge on Saquon going to the Eagles, and we'll steal Jalen Carter for ourselves. $34 million per, the type of contract to ruin a team, but you know what? You know what? We need to get pushed over the edge here. I don't care. 35 mil? Let's do 36 million over 3. If that doesn't get us... Really? It's not going to be enough to get us there. Okay. If you say so. Jack Campbell. Maybe Carter's not the guy. We just go Campbell instead. 4-year deal. If I could do a 2-year, that'd be great. Probably won't take it, though. Man, I can't believe how cheap that contract is, though. Giants are going for everyone, by the way. Let's try to get Jack Campbell, linebacker. I mean, it's not like we're screwed at linebacker. We got what we got, but we need a next level guy, right? An 88 overall is really good. Aleem McNeil doesn't have an offer, but even if I tried to lowball him, still wouldn't get anywhere near where I want to be. You know, even if I did 20 mil, we wouldn't get him. But because that, you know, there's a chance, I might as well. Let's turn this into the damn Lions rebuild. The fact that a 2-year 40 is considered like a 2-bar is crazy, but let's see what we get. I thought he was actually signed to us. Jack, wow, we don't even get Jack Campbell. That's crazy. I know we only offered him a 2-year, but still, wow, all this money and it was for nothing. I can't pay Aleem that much either. There's just no way. Well, I guess we're saving our money, rolling it over for next year when we do have some pretty tough contracts to deal with anyways. Back with another draft pick, 24 in the first round. I mean, realistically, the only position we absolutely need is defensive tackle. Everything else is kind of preparing for the future that, you know, we might not even have to worry about for certain positions. Tight end Warner looks kind of decent. Maybe that's somebody I go with. O-line, D-line is, you know, another position. I went with left end or D-ends, if you will. So I feel like, you know, it gives me a better chance for multiple defensive tackle types. I don't really know if I like any one of these guys so much I would take him in the first round. Flanagan, 3 to 4, might be worth it. Super athletic, but not really a nose tackle sized player. Do we have a nose tackle? We have Hunt, 2 to 3. I don't want to trade down at all times, but at the same time, the peer value might be there once again. Could go corner, but even then we've got Burke at the 4 spot that just is not worth it, I don't think. I really don't think it is, so I guess we're going to do the trade down. Patriots give me a pretty good trade. We're going to get 70 off of them to move down to 38, which isn't that bad of a drop. At 6, I suppose I'll end up taking one of the DNs. If there's someone there, should have at least, you know, one that I'm willing to take. We have... If I can find him. We have Hunt, but the problem is he's a 3 to 4. Do I really trust a 3 to 4? Don't know if I have much of a choice, honestly. He's a big dude. That's kind of where I'm at with this. Size alone. But once again, I really don't like 3-4s that much anyway, so maybe this is our chance to step off of it. Also have Gilmore as a 3. You know what? He's really strong. The one guy we don't know the true talent for. That's the guy I'm taking a chance on. 25 true. And he's hidden dev. All right. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I've said it multiple times now, the guys that I end up scouting the most are usually the lower overalls in the end, because, like, the other guys, I'm happy with taking what I see. The other guys, I need, you know, the guys we do scout further, I need to see more to be like, okay, yeah, I'll take them. They're worth it. So it is kind of one of those situations. Also, our next pick was available, Travis Warner, future-proof in the tight end position with a super athlete, 31 true, hidden dev as well. Good draft pick there. We move on to 6 in the 3rd round. Should also have another 3rd round pick after that, pick 24. Everything else kind of, you know, deeper into the draft there. We have safety still there. I don't know if I really want to go safety, but our strong safety right now has not developed well. Who is good? You got the zone coverage there. I do like the hip power tackle play rec of Purnell better, though. Irving... He's good, but I think Purnell might be a better player. Just a little bit lower in the zone coverage. 6 foot tall, Antonio Purnell. I'm going to take Antonio Purnell, who is 27 true. Hidden dev, automatic starter. Wow, okay. We've had ourselves a nice little draft so far. And then, honestly, I don't have another position that I must take. Actually, let's take a look at corner. Like, everything else is just kind of like pick and choose, future-proofing that, once again, might not exist because we might end up being able to pay for more players than we thought. You know, we were resetting a DT instead of going Jalen Carter because we couldn't get him. Just saying, those options are a little bit, maybe a little bit better because we don't have to pay as many people. Raheem Brown, 3-4. Gotta be a bad player if he's still here. 37 true. I'm wrong. Okay. Hidden Dev. I gotta say, I know we haven't had the best players of all time, but we did land 2 X Factors in this. This might be one of our best draft rebuilds we've had. You know, we're actually killing the draft year in and year out. Like, we're actually doing really well. What about middle linebackers? Any speed here? 4-4 for Mr. Tevin Benson. Ooh, he's fast, but that's kind of where it ends. I almost pulled the trigger on him, but I don't think we actually want him after all. Never mind. What about Gerald Woody? Also very raw, good zone coverage, though. And then Mr. Morris Whitfield, really raw. Okay, yeah, that's even worse. Rudolph? I guess Terry Rudolph is the choice. 35 true. Oh, my God. From a rebuild we have in the future where I couldn't draft O-line to save my life to this, yeah, I'll take this one. I'll take this one. Unless the other one came out first. I had a plan to do this one first, but I might run out of time. I don't know. Do I go O-line again? Like, am I a nutcase to do it? Stewart? Very raw, but I mean, good enough pass block for me to take a chance personally. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to just go crazy O-line. 41 true. Another hidden. Okay, yeah, this draft is bonkers. This draft is ridiculous. And then we have a running back, Lyle Day. He's probably going to be pretty bad, but we'll take the depth. 108 true. There's no shot. Another hidden dev. I mean, we're absolutely murdering this draft. I mean, they could all be star. They could all be pretty bad players. Who knows? But for what it is, we're doing well. Let's look at this monster class. Wow. 6 straight 74 overalls. That is absurd. Gilmore, you know what? Normally I look at all the devs. I'm not going to look at the devs this time. I'm just going to, nah, we'll do it. It's just there's so many hiddens, dude. It's going to take so long to look at all these devs, but why not? Let's see. Gilmore, star dev. Tight end. Tight end I won't look at because we don't really, you know, he's the future, but not right now future. Obviously, it's kind of what the future means. Purnell, automatic starter, so I guess we'll take a look. 6 foot tall. You know, not as good a man coverage as Blanton, but at least he's hidden dev. He has a chance to be a really high overall. Dev is star. Was kind of hoping and expecting more there, to be honest. O-line we won't look at, and then running back we don't need to look at either. Even if he's a superstar X Factor, won't matter. He's sitting until, you know, Pacheco's just unusable. But really good draft class, and we are absolutely set for the future. I mean, we have so many outs on so many different positions. If we need to pay O-line, we can't afford it. We got 3 linemen here waiting, you know? And we have another one, I think, waiting even. Burris is going to start, but I think maybe the right guard. I don't know. There's somebody I think that might be waiting, or maybe we do have those guys that were waiting last year starting this year. I don't know, but what a freaking draft nonetheless. Here we are for season 4. I mean, it seems like we're plateauing, which makes no sense because, once again, this is one of our best drafted rebuilds. But, yeah, defense really just has never done well. I mean, it's just like they're constantly just a low overall. But what can I do? I mean, this is the team we got. 150 XP sliders pretty much across the board, and this is the team we've got for a chance at winning a Super. I mean, if we're an 88 overall, like, the Falcons are right on our tail. Like, you're really telling me there's other teams managing their rosters as well as us. Like, is that what you're really telling me? Okay, the Chiefs at 88. Like, this is really a thing? Like, how are there multiple teams that are 88? I genuinely I get it. We didn't really have playoff success, but we still made the playoffs 2 out of 3 years. We've had worse teams than this before and worse success. This is a little surprising. I mean, we even have a really good QB. Lot of money, but you know already that we have Cam Ward on the list. Obviously, we're paying Ward. Obviously, paying Harris. Gonna try to pay Connerly. Gonna try to pay Latham. Snead, I don't think we can pay. Oliver, if he's actually playing well, I guess, but that is a lot of money. Scott, sure. Andrews, maybe. Aman, Worley. Yeah. Cook, no. Everyone else here, seemingly no. But, yeah, there's a lot of money. Let's see how far we can get starting left to right. You see what I'm saying, though? This is, like, such a hard contract to do. 4.5 sacks. Halfway through the year, we're looking at maybe 9, 10 sacks, which is good, but is it... 20 million a year good? Maybe, I guess. That's actually not too bad overall. 115 left. Obviously, Scott's going to get the deal. 6-year, 27. Maybe a little bit more than that. It'll be a steal regardless. How much is Andrews? We can definitely do another year. Boom. He's freaking goated for taking that. Eman Worry. I keep calling him Man Worley. Don't know why. I just am what I am. 2-year deal worth 17. We'll do a 6-year. We're going to just believe in him. 6-year, 51. 86 million left. I think we can definitely pay a lineman. I don't know if we can pay both, though. I don't know if I really like the contract either. Latham's about 27 per when you fluctuate or adjust for the red. And then we have 24 mil for Connerly. If we're paying linemen, we're not going to pay more than like 2. Connerly, 5-year, 130. We have 63 mil left. We have to replace corner. We have to pay Scott. We got to replace Simmons. But yeah, we probably could. Also do have to pay freaking Britton, though, and Allen. So yeah, maybe we... I don't want to lose Latham, but I think because of the price, maybe I do have to. I might have no choice. 7 sacks this year. Gave up 7 last year. He's looked like he's going to give up double digits. Got to pay the wide receiver and the edge with 63 mil. Yeah. Latham's gone. Headed to playoffs, and we're going Chiefs scheme for the final year because a team this good apparently isn't good enough for the playoffs. Yay! 7-10. What a game, honestly. Like, what about this team doesn't scream playoffs? If you know what? If our offense is top 5, but our defense is bottom 5, and that's why we miss, you know what? I can live with it. I can live with it because you know what? There is... some low overalls here on this side of the ball. But if it's not the case and it's something else, yeah, that's a joke. That's all I can say. 15th offense. Okay, sure. So it's the defense that's actually good. Yeah, this game's ass. This game's just ass. It's just not good. It's just a bad game, simply put. These are the numbers. We'll go into our final year, not expecting much. We're going to a 4-3 as well. I'm going nuclear. We're going full nuclear. Doesn't matter. It does not simply matter. Chiefs versus the Bears in the Super Bowl. Chiefs with that scheme. It is the way the game is. Suppose if, we move to that 4-3, we don't actually even need a DT. We just move everyone to DT that we have and let Simmons go. Wow, another 1-point Super Bowl. You have the Bears winning by 1 over the Chiefs. Can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm glad to see someone new up there, to be honest. Pacheco, 88 overall. He is, he's kind of maxed at this point. Trey Harris goes to X Factor as well. Yeah, Pacheco, 88 overall. Going to start regressing even further. Already did. Now we move on to the defensive side of the ball. 89 overall. Middle linebackers really never developed, I will say. Gilmore and Hawkins are DT 1 and 2 going forward. Maybe Simmons, actually, we do one more year with. And then Snead, I think we might be able to do better in free agency at this rate. Not a bad overall, but at the same time, he's not really worth it anymore. Also, Allen, 31 mil total. Britton, 12.5 for the 5th year as well. Latham, I'm going to let go. Snead at that price, I might be able to do better still in free agency. Like I said, I still believe that wholeheartedly. Simmons, has he even played well? I don't even know. I'm kind of glad he said he would do that. He wants to move on because that is a lot of money. Let's go to free agency, see if there's anybody that might push us over the edge. Might even do that whole trade all of our best picks away for our biggest need type of situation again, like we usually do in these stupid ending type rebuilds. No DT, O-line, I guess. Simmons not even getting an offer. Latham is. Snead, not really much better of an option at corner. So we're like, if we don't get Snead back, and we already lost a few anyways, We're basically resetting on the final season, which is just laughable. You know what? No, we're going to trade for well, let's do that first because I might not even be able to do it. I'm going to trade for a proven corner that isn't Snead and see what happens. Burke, a first round this year and a 7th 2 years from now for a Takario Davis. Is that the 6'4" corner? He had a contract of a 5-year. He was a 90 overall. I was like, that sounds like my type of player. It is the 6'4" guy. I mean, yeah, we still are missing some safety-age, right? Safety's not perfect. Some inside linebackers aren't the best, but at this point, this is where we're standing. If we can spend any more draft picks to maybe get a proven linebacker, perhaps. Oh, Andrews even regrets. How is this going to be a failed rebuild? Like, EA genuinely has some answering to do. That's wild, bro. We trade a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round pick with Teague to move into Carter. I don't know if that's weird wording, but Carter, the 87 overall middle linebacker, is going to join the squad, and I think that is where our kind of trade brigade is going to end. Once again, not the best team we've ever built, but a lot of that is just due to the fact that we're missing the playoffs. We're not winning playoff games despite being one of the best teams in the league. Here we go for the final season. No matter what, it's just there's no point. We got to reset a running back. We got to reset a tight end. Sort of. Defensively, we probably have some resets to be done. And this is the team. This is we're up against it with contracts. I imagine after this season comes up. This is the team. If this isn't it with the Chiefs Buffalo defense, the GOATs, if you will, it's not going to happen. $61 million you got to pay Hawkins. Andrews obviously is gone. Ragnow, maybe. Smith, Blanton, Wright. I mean, we're actually looking all right. We don't have to pay anyone technically, so I mean, the team is actually fair enough. Stonehouse, is he playing like he normally is? If he is, we'll give him another 2 or 3. Yeah, he's playing well. I mean, the guy's been he's been solid. So 2-year deal, and I mean his money's definitely climbed a little bit, but nothing we can't afford. Of course, Hawkins is super cheap, all things considered. Usually these types of contracts are like $38 million by now. So that normal dev maybe saving him a little bit. We keep him long term, $37 million. You could keep Frank. Do we want to? Why not? Usually these guys at least stick around till 34. So one more season for him. We're losing some depth, but we also still have kept intact the full squad, besides Andrews. And we go 6-11. I'm done, dude. I really genuinely don't understand, dude. We were just hear me out. We were 6-3. We were 6-3 at one point. Can someone explain to me why this is a thing? Does anyone want to explain why this game is the way it is? Does you guys probably watch other rebuilders, and if not, I'm touched. But does this happen to them too? Where they're just like, they're the best team in the league, and they go 6-11? Like, let me look at some of these other teams. So 6-11 for us, 10-7 for the 87 overall Texans, 10-7 for the 85 overall Steelers. I mean, even 8-9 for the 85 overall Raiders. 89 overall, and then the Patriots were 89 overall, only go 4-13. Like, is it really just that close that it's just like, 1 or 2 overalls really does make a difference? It just doesn't make a difference because it's that close, it's that tight? I genuinely don't get it. I'm not doing another season. There's no point. We've lost. I mean, there's really nothing else to it. We've just not won. Is it really my theory is correct? I really think with the Chiefs scheme doing this for us, I genuinely think I am correct that EA has it in the coding that certain teams, because of, where they look like in real life before the season started, certain teams have a less chance to win. I really think that's truly a thing. Like, you just can't tell me it's coincidence that every time we do these random teams that are not that good in real life, that they struggle harder than the teams that are supposed to do good. You can't tell me it's coincidence. It's in the coding. I don't think it's locked in for sure. I don't think if you did 30 seasons with the best team ever, and that team was the Titans, for example, you would never win a Super Bowl. I just think there's something that's saying like 30% worse, 40% worse on average. Something that you can't for sure confirm, but it's there enough to where you've got suspicion, you know? Because there's just no way this team is this bad again with like all 90s in the skill positions. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. The 11th ranked wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 is going to be even higher, probably top 6. Number 5. So 11 and 5, that's got to be top 5 duo minimum, maybe higher. Pacheco, I will admit, has regressed, but what is that overall looking like? It's still 13th best, which even that, once again, I'm a little surprised that's not a little higher. Let's look at QB. Let's look at the QB rating. 12th. Okay, I'm a little surprised that's not higher as well, but 12, we're top half league on offense, yet not top half league in wins. I don't know what to tell you. Let's just look at the players and I guess call it a failed rebuild, even with pick 1 overall and some really good draft. I can't believe how well we drafted in this rebuild and yet still came up short by a lot. I mean, this is insane. It's truly insane how bad it is. Like, I don't know what we could have done differently. I really don't. I think we even managed the contract so well that we were able to keep a super squad for the most part intact for longer. You know, we kept some pretty decent linemen, and I really don't know how we built the team we did. Like, this is a quarterback that is missing the playoffs consistently, but his rookie year is like his best year. I don't get that. It doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. But sure, I lose. Safeties also just never developed at all. You know, they're all run support apparently. They're just terrible. They're ass. They're horrible. They never developed one bit. Purnell, I mean, he's starting to get there, but even that overall still low. What a pure disaster. Really, I don't even want to look at the linebackers. There's just nothing special going on there at all. I will admit, Oliver actually exceeded expectations, but even he was lacking some consistency at times. Move to the other side. Britton, who we drafted, who was straight up X Factor right away. 90 overall. Power move's great. Did they upgrade his... No, they didn't. I thought he was like more of a coverage guy with that play rack, but just doesn't have any block check because power move is nowhere near as good as finesse. Finesse move would have had the same type of like 90-something plus with the block shed on top of it. Anyone else on defense we want to look at? DTs. I guess I'll look at Hawkins, but, he's still normal dev, so not much there. But, all in the 90s pretty much for all the ratings. Take a look at corner. We don't obviously care about the corner we just got. Like, he's kind of pointless. McCrary, though, we'll take a look at. 88 overall. Very good man, very good press. Not the most athletic, but we knew that going in. Some good progression for some of the players that the Titans haven't really developed in the past. At least I haven't really seen it too much. Skoronski a little bit lower than I would have expected, obviously, but also some decent ones. Anyways, I think that is going to be it. I think we've just had a failed rebuild. Straight up, there's not much more to it. Straight up failed rebuild. Not saying that we're done with the Titans forever, because we could, once the actual draft happens, maybe they do go Sanders. Maybe they take somebody else worthy of a rebuild for sure at that point. But at the end of the day, I've been defeated by EA. I can admit it when EA just bends me over and doesn't even ask. Once again, though, if you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I do appreciate continued support here on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PK Plays for now, Madden content. Of course, been playing Indiana Jones lately over there. And that's pretty much it. If you guys have a team you want to see next, let me know in the comment section below. And there we go. Regardless, hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya. And once again, as usual, shout out to all the members of the channel. Appreciate you guys a ton. If you guys are out there wanting to become a member of the channel, click the join button next to the subscribe button. All the details will be in there. We'll have another members only exclusive rebuild on the 15th like we did last month. Check it out if you haven't already. And that's about it. Regardless if you're a member or not, appreciate y'all watching and see ya.